People hold strong hatred and resentment towards people with money. And that's a shame. It's a shame because it is that very reason why you won't have an abundant life. Recently, there was a tragedy with the passengers on the Titan submarine. And it's always very revealing to see what people comment and what they say. Now, it's not necessarily hatred or resentment, and another form of resentment, by the way. So when people make fun of people being unalive simply because they have money, that says something. That says a lot to me. And I've been paying attention to, of course, people who are rich and or wealthy, and how other people treat them. There are some that are in the public arena, and then there are some who they just keep their mouth closed because there's just such resentment. I mean, there's no other word around it. And hatred is based on jealousy. Because look at it this way. If somebody offered you $10 million, would you turn it down? But people will hate you, right? See, that's what I'm saying. It's like, but if you are a spiritual person and you practice seeking, desiring abundance in your life, any abundance is abundance. A penny is abundance. Getting people to help you is abundance. $1 million is abundance. Okay? And how you treat abundance is how abundance will act towards you. I've heard it said, it's like if you treat money like a person, that's how money's going to treat you. If you are making fun of those who possess money and are comfortable, if you're making fun of having money, if you're demonizing people with abundance, abundance is not going to find you. You already have an emotional feeling towards abundance that is not going to link up. I also recently, I was watching this movie, and I forgot the name of the movie, but maybe I'll look it up. But it was basically a couple, and this is a real story, a couple who, I don't know how they ended up with $1 billion, sorry, not million, $1 billion. I don't know if they won lottery or whatever, but people act very differently in a lot of different ways the moment that you are in having some abundance. And this when I watched the movie, it was like a kind of a fictionalized version of the real life story of this movie. And the ending of the movie was that the woman kind of had to trick her partner into thinking that she faked the whole having money thing so that his family would leave him alone and stop asking and stop conniving and stop begging for this money. And when she convinced him in front of his family, they left him alone. But then she went back and she's like, that was a setup. We actually do still have this money. We're just going to have to not tell anybody about it. Yeah. It's like people want it, but then they hate it. But then you can't get it. And then it's not impossible to have it, but it's going to be more of a struggle to get it. If you have such an attitude towards abundance and money that it conflicts, is a contradiction. It's like, how are you wanting something but then hating it at the same time? That also falls underneath relationships too. You know, if you know people who are they want a relationship, and then there's no good blah 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 out there. It's like, the good blah 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 out there will be like, well, we're gonna stay hidden. And the same is true with money. Money's gonna stay hidden from you. Oh goodness. So this is how I see money. Money is a tool, and that's really all it is, y'all. It's just a tool. Just like a hammer. You can use a tool to create or destroy. You can use a hammer to build or to tear down a house. That's how I see money. It's a tool. That's all it is. And maybe, you know, the culture has taught us to hate millionaires and billionaires. You watch certain movies, like I'm thinking the evil, like watching, you know, a bunch of spy movies or whatever. It's like there's always like an evil person out there. It's like, oh, I want $1 billion or whatever. And then you grow up saying like, oh, okay, people who with $1 billion are evil. What if you invented something that is a life-saving device and a company paid you $1 billion for it? Oh, you're evil now? You're evil? Make it make sense. Okay? So that's just something to think about. Like, think about what is really your attitude towards money and people with money. Now, if somebody was offering free trips in submarines that go as deep as what, you know, happened a few days ago, I'm sure some people would have gone. And of course, there's going to be people who don't. But if money was no object, what would you be doing with your life? There are people who are thrill seekers out there all day long, and they don't have $1 billion. And of course, some people will say, oh, well, they are, you know, whatever. You know, they have other, you know, comments about that too. But I'm just saying, if money was no object, some people would travel the world. Some people would help people. Some people would just go and disappear and live a happy little solitary life, right? And so what I'm saying is, if you ever desire abundance in your life, you got to think about what is really your attitude about abundance in the first place, right? What is your attitude about abundance? And that's something that inner work has got to, you know, be done around that. If you are one of those people who are like, yeah, money, you know, only evil people have money. Oh, down with those, you know, whoever. Like I'm trying not to name the names, but we know, you know, the more famous ones. And then there are those who you don't even know. They're walking around with, you know, money. They're just walking around with money and living their little life. They're probably contributing to society, all kinds of things. But one of the reasons why they don't want to say anything and be public is because of all the attention and or negativeness around them. They just want to be abundant and contribute. Okay? I tell you, you know. So if you're into more of my insights, spiritual insights, you know what to do. Take care. Bye.